If you're putting a greenhouse plastic on your greenhouse, if I can get this in the sun, this is a single-sided tape with felt on it. See, we put it on these. All of them have been done. So now we'll get rid of the chafing problem, which generally wears your plastic out because the wind and all blows all the time. So it's all been painted. We put new PCV pipes on it because they do go bad in the sunlight over time, and we didn't want to put the old ones on because we hope this lasts 7 years. In the old days, I used to take tie wraps, you know, electric tie wraps, and put around these to hold them on place. Well, when the tie wraps broke, it was very hard to get back here to replace them, and these things had a tendency to fold over and fall down. And we're trying to get support across this open space. So it's all been done. Everything's cleaned out. For people who have watched my videos when I did my own potting soil, I had a container right here full of potting soil, and that is right there. It is now empty, and that container inside is full. And so I used one whole 32-gallon thing this season. So now it's time to put the plastic on. And we'll walk down here to the end. We had to triple paint this end down here. The wood had weathered in, and we were getting some bleed through in the wood. You can see right there a little yellowing around that knot and a line down this wood. But after 3 coats, that's all we're going to put in. And we wired these things by drilling 2 little holes. Let me get away from the sun. We drilled 2 little holes in the PCV, ran a wire through it, twisted it, and folded it over. And that will keep that there. And you can see all the felt on them. So that's where we are right now. Back when we get the plastic on it. Well, it's 5:35 on the East Coast here in Central Virginia, and except for a little, we haven't stapled the bottom edge of this polyethylene film across the bottom. The top is secured. It's secured up next to the house. It does look a lot better than it did. You can at least see into it. There's a little bit of felt we had left. And we've got to attach the bottom with staples. And we put the side on it, and we double this over. And then when you put this on and double it over, and then I'll put a strip on top of this to secure it, make it weatherproof. And we put the strips up, and they'll hold the door. Gotta watch what the camera's doing. And inside looks all pretty and clean, almost looks like a new one. It is getting dark. Sun's going down. And people ask me how I attached this. I'm going to grab a couple of things here. How I attached it to the brick house. Well, I took a piece of gray vinyl pipe. I think it's used for electrical. And I had it hit that wall right there, and I drew a mark all the way down there and to the floor where the header is that holds the concrete slab that holds those pipes up. And then I came up here and drilled holes, marked it, drilled holes, and put these little expanding plastic deals in the holes. And then you took a screw longer than this and put it in like that, and you pull the plastic down and you tighten it up. And you start right there, and then you tighten that one up, and all these little plastic things are in the holes that you drilled with a mortar bit. All the way down, and it gives you a tight little finish there. And see, a lot of leaves fall up in this place here, and the rain off a house sometimes get a little hard, and it'll hit right here, and that keeps the water from coming in. And it's worked really well, because I think we got a video. This thing was up in '93, so anyway, it's a whole lot better than it was. And we've cleaned all the junk out. See, all back up in here, all that's been brushed and cleaned out. And for the guys that watch me make my own potting soil, that's how much I got left of the 2 containers that we had. And this will hold me if I have to pot up something during the winter. The people have been watching a lot of my videos. When I was in the greenhouse, I think planting seeds or working with the little transplants, there was a plant right there in the ground and another one right there. And I told everybody that I need to dig those things up because they've been living in all this. This is rocks. There's about a foot or more rocks down in there. And all this potting soil and soil been spilled over the top of it. And so anyway, I finally dug them up. I had to give them a chance. And that's one I planted up. I know this is fast, but it's getting late. And that's another one, the bigger one that was there. And this is one that had come off of that one. So it had actually formed a baby on the ground. And this little twig was in it, which I need to cut out. But they're just spider plants, and somehow a piece had fallen down on the ground. And it had rooted. So at least I took care of it. So anyway, that's about all I can say in here, but it sure looks nice and neat and clean, and it won't leak. Now if I can figure out a way to get something outside to have the squirrels crawl up and down without using my plastic roof, I'm thinking about putting a tree branch up there or a board they can climb up and down on. Maybe it'll keep them off of my plastic. Thanks for watching. And this is what's left of our glazing. I call it glazing because I'm old-fashioned and all greenhouses had glass in them. And you glaze glass in like you do old-fashioned windows. And so everybody called it glazing in a greenhouse. But the plastic, and this is enough to do the greenhouse 3 times. And the way I wrote somebody in a comment that if you add up to $68 for the tape and $60 for the 1/3 of the plastic, it's like $18 a year if it lasts 7 years, and that's pretty cheap, folks. We still have to finish this in and staple down the front, and that's about it. We'll pull some of these wrinkles out, but it's sort of warm and you can't pull them all out right now, because if you do, when it gets cold and this stuff shrinks, it'll start putting stress on it. You don't want that. It'll tighten up. So it was 82 degrees today, and I'm probably in the 70s, low 70s now, but you really need to watch the temperature when you put the glazing on. If you put it on at 97 degrees and had it tight as a banjo string, and then it got down to 32, you know that plastic's going to have to come apart somewhere. But that's it.